where are you? Perfect. Now, why is it not showing up here? There we go. Un minuto, por favor. Copy and paste. Oh, that's strange. Why? I was a little sick yesterday. It got better, so I'm hoping that continues in the positive direction. I don't have tea today, but what I do have is some nice bubbly lime. Not a sponsor. Okay. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. I'll get started pretty soon here. Maybe just give another minute for people to start trickling in. All right. Just another minute here, then we'll dive in. Yeah, earlier this week I had a little bit of a, I don't know, my throat was just not doing well. But that has definitely improved. Okay, I'm gonna get started, y'all. So first off, I already said it, but Happy New Year. So good to see you guys again. And hope you all had a good holiday and, of course, a good new year, 2023. I can't believe it. It came quite swiftly. So this will be an interesting year. Let's see what we can accomplish together. Dyson's beta testing is underway. And with the assistance of core moderators and select community members, that is progressing forward. So far, we have seen some positive, constructive feedback, and we're working to implement that feedback as well. As you saw in the recent announcements, we also received our final reports in Dyson's auditing process, and we are certainly excited to announce that the changes that we need to make within that are quite minimal. So all good things. Let's see. Okay. Alrighty. Sphere Lens UI was teased towards the end of the year. Let's see if I have that here for those on stream. So that was pretty cool. And then we also got word of yield locked sphere, which is a very exciting development, kind of a transition between Sphere Games and ylSPHERE. So we will be able to single-sided stake Sphere, and in exchange, we'll be able to receive real yield in Matic, as well as additional tokens. And then that YL yield locked Sphere will be able to provide governance in Dyson. That is until we eventually transition to ylSPHERE. So ylSPHERE does require a 17-week lockup period, but is itself a vault within Dyson. And Friday's video should be helpful in terms of kind of separating ylSPHERE versus ylSPHERE. All right. And this whole concept of ylSPHERE, Sphere has always been a project that wants to provide real yield to Spherians, provide meta governance, and provide deflation. So ylSPHERE is a way to take a step towards that, into that philosophy before we get to the Sphere v3 tokenomics. So Sphere will become a true yield-bearing asset before V3. So it's nice that we'll have that integrated for us to use for those who are interested. This is going to provide a constant revenue stream through, of course, networking, building multiple strategies through Dyson as well. We've all talked about how Dyson has been a way to market Sphere, and of course, Wilo was able to talk about that in the recent AMA as well. The other thing about yield-locked Sphere and VE Sphere as well eventually is it really rewards long-term Spherians, and it also invites other yield farmers to become Spherians because there are those real yields attached to it. Importantly, Sphere games will be deprecated, meaning it will be removed once yield-locked Sphere comes out, and then eventually VE Sphere, Sphere v3, will then replace ylSPHERE as well. So it's kind of a transition that Sphere will be going through. Really cool is that we got a shout out from the Polygon team itself on Twitter, thanks to the hard work of Sphere's core. And then also, Sim leaked one of the Dyson pools, the USDC WETH Uniswap v3 pool on Polygon, which at that time was boasting an APY of over 187%. Of course, that is going to vary based on TVL and volume within Uniswap itself. But really cool because that is true yield, right? This is not liquidity mining incentives. That represents real yield from swap fees. So very cool to see. All right. And then I did want to mention, because it was an announcement that the Rubik exploit had occurred at the end of 2022. So even if you hadn't had a chance to yet, be sure to revoke access if you've used Rubik and haven't revoked that access already. We always want to err on the side of caution with these sorts of things. All right. Apologies, this is acting funny. Okay. Yeah, I'm excited as well. First AMA in some time, so it's good to be back in. I'm going to jump right on ahead. Those are all the updates I have in terms of the recent announcements, what's coming. I know it's a bit shorter than usual, but I do want to get to these different questions here. Where are they? Okay, so no new ones right now, so I will stay in the stage chat. All right, so the first AMA question was from Destroyer, and Destroyer said, "Hey Sphere team, just wondering, how do we accurately pinpoint and calculate an approximate value of the treasury right now? I know multi-farm displays with a lag, but what is the correct way to get an estimated value on the treasury at any time? Is a solution to add all the figures on all the links stated in hashtag contracts for the different dbank links, for example?" And yes, this is a good question, and I would say that yes, a good way to more accurately estimate the treasury value at any time is going to be to use one of those services such as dbank, and all of those links are easily accessible in the hashtag contracts section. So, yep, good question, and again, it's the multi-farm dashboard was a big step towards transparency, and I know it doesn't deliver fully everything that we're looking for, especially in such a tumultuous time, and also DeFi itself always changing so rapidly, crypto changing so rapidly. It can kind of be hard to keep up. So I understand that frustration as well. J. Michael had asked, I don't know if this question was already raised, but I will ask anyway. Would it be possible in Dyson to only deposit one token, and that Dyson will create the LP for you? The reason I'm asking is that creating an LP is not for everyone. For example, Balancer works like this, and I really like it. So implementing a Zap function will not be our initial focus with Dyson. However, Zap functions are certainly convenient and nice to have, so implementing a Zap function is always a possibility in the future. But again, it is not going to be our initial focus within Dyson. Just going to take a sip of my water now. All right. Plob asked, any credible risk of potentially losing everything that one deposits in Dyson? Can you elaborate on the scenarios that could cause this? And what assurances do we have that this absolutely cannot happen? Now, this is a really good question. There are always smart contract risks that are not possible to eliminate. So neither we nor anyone else can ever offer that type of assurance. And if anyone ever says 100% there is no risk, you should probably run the other way because they are not being truthful. There is always the risk of unintentional consequences of smart contracts and unknown risks of specific pieces of the code built within the contract, and that risk may simply be unknown until something happens and becomes known. Those risks can be minimized through smart contract audits, which is exactly why auditing is so important within DeFi and is why Dyson is being audited by 2 independent companies. And as I mentioned earlier, we received I don't want to misspeak here. We received the final reports back, and we only need to make minimal changes to those contracts. So that's all very good news. But again, that's the reason we're doing that. So auditing helps identify large and small bugs that could potentially leave funds vulnerable to hacks and bugs. Auditing also helps improve investor confidence. And then the other element of that is simply time and proof of concept. So the longer a system is functioning properly, then the more confident people will become in the project and the code. So because this is such a new space, these are the elements that kind of come together to help provide that type of confidence. But ultimately, Plob, to get to the core of your question, there is no way to give 100% assurance of safety. There will always be smart contract risks. So it's a very good question. J. Michael followed up asking again about the zap function on Dyson, so we addressed that. And then next, Plob had asked again, can you give us an update on Penrose, please? For example, Sim had mentioned on the 29th of December, for Penrose to grow more, Dystopia needs to grow. And for Dystopia to grow, it needs active development from the Tetu team. And the Tetu team is busy with Tetu v2, and then after that, we're confident they will look into Dystopia. So yes, Penrose and Unknown are yield maximizers for Dystopia and Cone respectively, which are built by the Tetu team, among others. So certainly the Tetu team is hard at work on their v2 tokenomics, and we do anticipate that after they have released Tetu v2, that Dystopia and Cone will also receive updates, because those are their projects as well. In the meantime, we still plan in time to release, for example, VL Pen, VL Unknown Bribes, and UI optimization for Penrose and Unknown. It's all about like priorities in that sense as well, and another question kind of taps into that, so I'll save that discussion for that question. Good evening, Ozzy Co. All right, this next question was a good question, a good general DeFi crypto question by Alex Tran. Noob question here, which is okay. We accept all questions. I'm looking at these LPs, and these were actually from Penrose. What's the risk of having a low TVL? So actually, YL Rocky and YL North did a very good job at answering this. in the AMA questions channel. So thank you for that. But just to answer here as well, from a liquidity side, having a low TVL in dystopia, will mean high slippage with swaps. So within any DEX, low TVL, a low amount of liquidity is going to mean high slippage for traders. So it is less likely that users are going to use that pool to swap because they don't want to have to pay the high slippage. Then from the yield side, low TVL actually offers a higher opportunity to earn more yield in liquidity incentives. So that is how liquidity mining balances itself. With low TVL, typically there is a higher incentive to provide liquidity there in order to earn higher rewards. But then as that TVL increases, those rewards decline as they are averaged out into that TVL, that increasing TVL. So the end goal ultimately is for optimization and balancing of liquidity across all the different liquidity pools within a DEX. That's kind of the ultimate goal, and that's how that TVL and the liquidity mining incentives, the rewards, are going to balance each other out. And then, of course, it does get more complicated with the voting system, with locking DYST rewards and having Penrose built on top of that, being able to vote on different pools to further increase incentives and drive liquidity. So it does get more complicated, but in a nutshell, TVL and the balance between TVL and incentives works that way. So this is a very long-winded response to your question, Alex Tran, but really at the core, from a reward standpoint, there's not much risk, so to speak, of having low TVL if you're looking to earn rewards from a pool. Actually, it provides you with a good opportunity to capture a lot of that return. All right. Cactus, great name, asked, where does the Matic for ylSPHERE come from? We have yet to announce the details for how the Sphere earnings pool for ylSPHERE, Yield Lock Sphere, works, but we do encourage you to comment your guesses in the Dyson Twitter post. So I got that on screen now. There have already been some really good guesses, so be sure to read through the replies. But yes, ultimately that has yet to be announced. Good question. All right. Very good. So it's got just a couple more questions here. And then we have some additional stuff. So, okay. So Kid Bucko, basically asking about the reduction in Bernie. So in response to your question, Kid Bucko, while we always work towards being as transparent as possible, certain aspects of the ecosystem will take priority as we have shifting workloads and responsibilities. For example, as we work to optimize Dyson for launch within its beta testing. So I understand the desire to see constant external effort towards assisting the price action of Sphere as much as possible, especially considering the current global market conditions. But we at Sphere are focused on what is best in the long term of Sphere, and that often requires a careful use of our time and a significant amount of internal effort behind the scenes. So in time, that internal effort will certainly show external results, but it takes time, it takes effort, and we do appreciate your patience. Patience is indeed a virtue, after all. All right. And then ylSPHERE, first off, happy holidays and happy New Year's. Thank you, and to you all as well. My question is, how was your time off and how are you? I'm doing well, thank you. I was feeling a little sick Yesterday more so than today. I was worried it would get worse, and but thankfully my voice has not been affected. I feel pretty good today, so that is good. My time off was good. Uh, as much as much as you take time off, I could not help but constantly be checking all of the different Sphere Discord chats. It's just still something that I think myself and other members of Sphere, we're constantly thinking about, what we can do to contribute. So I'm always still, even on even on break, reading through all of the different messaging chats and brainstorming video ideas, all these different things. Much to the dismay of my wife. But thank you for asking. I do appreciate that. All right. Let me see here. Going back here. All right. Just a moment, y'all. Oh, let's get these up. All right.
Hello.
Hi, welcome to the stage.
Thank you. I'm sick.
Oh, you're sick?
Yes, I'm sick.
Oh,
I'm
no.
very sick, actually.
I'm sorry to hear that.
No, I'll be fine. How is everyone doing? Do we have any of the external whales we've tried contacting, doing testing? Um, I'm not sure what you mean.
I think you might be referring to, as part of the advertising AMA, we talked about
Oh
eventually reaching
no.
out to whales. Yeah, I think that's further down the line.
Yeah, that's further down the line. So, the idea is to try and get some try to get burrow into the market, the DeFi market, and then see where we can go.
Right, like establishing proof of concept, these sorts of
Yeah,
things first.
precisely. Now, where is Pibbles? Ah, he didn't attend this one.
Pitbulls?
Yeah, Pibbles. He's a community member.
Mm.
Extremely solid. Shout out to him. The seafood Dogecoin. I'm not even gonna touch that. Just not even gonna say anything. I'm sorry, Ferret.
I think more people will be waiting for that Seafood Titanu pair.
I could get behind that. Wait, isn't Vulcan like its own little blockchain? Or did I miss this?
I think Vulcan's the next iteration of what's his
Oh, okay.
faces. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Uh, well, I actually kind of like that name. Very interesting. That's all I'm gonna say. It's an interesting name. Guys, listen. This is a lot of people. We haven't had a lot of people in the community maze for a while. So listen, as a little token of appreciation, I'm gonna post a little bit of alpha. If you guys could just check the stage board really quick, that'd be great. Let me just check if I got my screenshots ready. Yeah, yeah, that should be it. You guys looking? Price, can you please tell me if they're looking?
How do I tell if they're looking? I hope you guys are.
Okay, there we go. 3, 2, 1. There we go.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it just pops.
So I'm gonna try to open these for the stream as well.
Dyson coming out tonight? Not really. Not yet, not yet. But we are very close. And the reason why I posted these screenshots is to just let you guys know that we are working on a lot of things in tandem, and they're very close to each other completion-wise. So I'm very positive that 2023 will be a very vibrant year for Sphere. Soon, definitely. So how do you guys feel about the UI? Me personally, I think it really pops. It's very utilitarian, very clean, and there's not a lot of nonsense going on. It's just fully functional, you know what to do. And I really like that about a lot of DeFi projects. Like let's say 1inch, for example. If I have to swap something, I usually go on Bungee or 1inch because it's so really slick. Like there's not much going on, just the things that you need. And me, I really appreciate stuff like that.
Especially for I think everybody, but just newcomers as well. It sometimes it's just way too overcomplicated, very hard to follow. You have to really dig into documents to figure out what's going on. So to have something that's
Yeah, people
streamlined,
make
clear,
tutorials,
yeah,
actual video tutorials to use a financial suite, and I think that's kind of problematic. With Sphere Lend and Dyson, I'm 100% positive that that won't be necessary. Yeah, fresh and clean, man. I'm serious. If you scroll up over here, you just a little bit above Stageboard, you'll see what Dyson essentially looks like. Extremely simple. We show you where to deposit liquidity, if there is, where to swap these yield-bearing tokens, and there's just a deposit and withdraw button. Easy as that. Yeah, you just have to have the leverage slider. It's like oregano on New York pizza. Just that's how I would say it. That's how I would describe it.
and the APY calculator.
Well, that too. That's very good too. It's very nifty, right?
Mm-hmm. Very accurate.
I think that's one of the
Well,
things most people care about.
right, right. I also like how it's very how to say this. It's very Sphere. It's obvious that it's part of Sphere. It has a very clean and consistent design across the board.
Oh yeah. One thing I will have to say, like, absolute shout out to Edubs. He makes these amazing, just so clean designs. There's like you can't get confused when using these things. It's just impossible, in my personal opinion. And when you make something simple and pretty at the same time, it's a big winner. That's Sinner. I'm not gonna say anything.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's very consistent. We have a how should I say, template of sorts. We know what sort of assets work front end wise, and as well as making it a lot easier to develop a front end, it also simply works, right? It's very utilitarian and it's really easy to use. Like Ultra. Yeah, like Ultra. Now I know there was a question up here. Oh, there we go. Are we going to use part of the treasury to farm on Dyson? Well, yeah. If we find that we can most certainly leverage a Dyson strategy over anything else, we will do that. Like, we are personally confident, and I'm personally excited to use Dyson myself with my own personal funds. I would the core team generally has no qualms with using the treasury on Dyson. The possibilities are endless with the amount of strategies that we have.
I think that's the cool thing with Dyson is you can scale it pretty much to no end. There's any strategy you can possibly think of, and even within that, combining strategies, it's pretty cool.
Yeah, as long as DeFi exists, financial tools like Dyson will have a place. I mean, you've seen Liquid Market. It's gonna be on Dyson. We have governance plays, and if governance plays really take over, we might see a shift in focus to create also governance plays on Dyson. And the really nice thing is that we have both. If you don't care about governance tokens, that's fine. We have things for you. Exactly, SP Tattoo. I'm very happy that our first governance play is going to be on Tattoo because I really like. First off, personally, I really like what Tattoo is doing.
If I'm not mistaken, it was the first investment of the treasury was into Tattoo.
Yes, I believe it was definitely.
It's cool to see it come full circle with that.
Oh, Ferret, you're in Tattoo as well. How does leverage on deposit work? Oh, McFly. I believe it was both. We bought a solid amount of Tattoo, was one of our first governance acquisitions, as well as Tattoo Chi, which is a product of Tattoo. So either way you slice it, we put in Tattoo as a protocol, as well as the token. Yeah, I really like Tattoo. I wholeheartedly mean that. How
Just
does leverage work? It's basically just as easy as any other lending protocol. You put down collateral, you borrow. If you don't want to borrow but you want to supply liquidity, you can do that. It's about as easy as that. Of course, there's risk management and etc., but that's a whole story of its own. Functionality wise, it's as easy as a few buttons. I think there was a thing in AMA chat. Hold on. Oh, Sinner. First off, happy holidays and happy New Year's. Thank you. Likewise. My question is, how was your time off and how are you? My time off was pretty nice. Um, I believe we were posting some stuff on New Year's. Actually, no, the recap. I was working on the recap for a little while, as well as the earning and burning article. But all in all, I had a very solid New Year. How am I now, though? I'm very sick. That's all I'm gonna say. But I'm okay. I'm fine. Just relaxing with experience.
So you sound okay.
I sound okay. Are you sure?
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. First off, sounds sexy. Well, thank you, Panda. Thank you. How do we know the burn rate with Dyson? Sorry, what do you mean exactly? Oh, do we know? Um, well, the info hasn't been released yet, but we will be taking performance fees most certainly. But they will be they're purposed for a number of things. And the really good thing about how our tokenomics team works is that a lot of the times when we're put between two options, we find a way to have the cake and eat it too. And that's what's really, for me personally, mind blowing about our tokenomics team. So on top of deflating sphere, there's also room to provide real yield to sphere, making sphere a yield bearing asset that is providing it a very direct, easy to access utility. So that's something for me personally that I've grown to expect and love from our team. Um, I can't tell you about the percentage burn rate yet. Even if I could give you a like a performance fee average, it still depends on both how much Dyson is used, um, how much sphere is there in the earnings pool, etc., etc. A lot of things changed with the way Dyson was going between when we had a team working on it and between now what Dyson is right now. So a lot of things are very different. However, um, I can say that the old performance fees that were general purpose, they aren't uh, they aren't valid now. They're definitely we charge different performance fees based on different strategies. Yeah, I mean Dyson really grew into a beast of its own over time by itself. And that's something that it's a blessing and a curse in a way for the Sphere team because we set out to make a bike, and before you know it, we have a V12 engine. But to make a V12 engine turn it into a actual vehicle, you need a chassis, you need an actual car. So it takes a little while, but I think it's well worth it. Yeah, yeah, basically. Yeah, there are problems in a way if you aren't willing to be patient enough to see that into action. It's definitely an issue. However, um, the payoff potential is very great.
And I want to, send appreciation towards the developers, on front end and back end, all the work that they're doing to get this done and all the care that's going into it from everyone in the team and even the beta testers. There's just a lot going into all this.
100%. I mean, even if I'm in NDA'd, I know what's going on, but in reality, I don't have the whole picture as someone such as a front end dev or a contract dev can have, because these technical hurdles and the process, it's a whole beast of its own. It's a huge Methuselah.
What's that word?
You never heard of it?
I haven't.
Did you guys never heard of Vampire the Masquerade? Oh, perfect.
Wait, longest lifespan. Wait, what? Dying at the age of 696? What? 969? Huh. Learning something new.
Yeah, I'm definitely into tabletop and stuff like that. Just came right out of me. Cinder, you did not just say that.
Huh. Yeah, this is all very much above my head. Regrettably.
Why is the lock time frame for ylSPHERE 17 weeks? It was a technical decision because the way now this is going to be explained in a bit more detail in the article, but the yields are epoch based, basically. And essentially it will be the initial lock period was 16 weeks, but because of the technical uh implications, it's 4 months and 1 week. For the record, I didn't say Dyson's gonna come out in 17 weeks. I was gonna have to say that.
I think just in general, this is um, all coming forward at a good time because in general, the shift within DeFi has been towards real yield, and more people are becoming interested and aware of that.
Yeah, I think with 2023, the narrative is basically set. It's gonna take a little while until there's a new narrative coming out. And even then, I feel like real yield, or just in general yield in a established asset is going to be a big, big deal. Also a big deal breaker for a lot of DeFi users.
Right.
Like this is one of the, how do I say, narratives or even a much meaner word, gimmicks, that's gonna really stick. Like it's not a gimmick, but it's a trend that is most certainly going to put a big imprint in how DeFi works. Well, yeah, it's turned into a buzzword in a way, but the for the way I see it, the absolute set in stone definition would be uh, yield in majority, if not all, uh, yield in established assets such as stable coins or blue chips. And as long as people take that seriously, I'm personally happy. And I'm happy to say that we are also certainly heeding that.
Yeah, in many ways it makes sense. Yeah, I mean, even if you look at the stock market, companies have several choices in terms of what to do with their revenue, their profits. They can provide dividends, they can do stock buybacks, they can just put it all back into the company. So it kind of in some ways parallels with that in terms of what is the where is the revenue going? How is it being used to further the ecosystem, including the community as part of that ecosystem?
Totally agree. Are there any more questions? Yes, the marketing team is ahead of the curve. That's we knew that. Oh, partisan, you're going to sleep? Good night. We don't have a goal of how many strategies we want to make. As long as there's something we believe we can make better and people use it and people like using it, we're going to make something about it. We're gonna make something based off it. We're gonna make there's going to be a strategy about it. So there's no long-term goal of how many we how many we're making, but rather um, how better can we make the space with these.
Yeah, I also think
But
that
yeah,
having a number in mind would be limiting on both sides.
oh,
You know,
100%.
trying to shoot for a number that's too high, or stopping at a certain number. It's just it's a limitation.
Yeah, and really there's no point,
Yeah,
right?
right. It's a
But personally, I can see that at some point we're going to take a small break from creating strategies on Dyson to maybe focus on something else, or even so, um, maybe try and finish up our roadmap. Now we will figure out some way to maybe provide a solution to both places. However, right now, the way the team is, as I believe that it'd be natural to expect that maybe at some point Dyson is being used. Dyson is relatively popular, but we are going to go and say, hey, we're going to try and focus on creating this, which we set out to do a while back. But Dyson is definitely a bread and butter project to me. Which chains do we have strategies on yet? I can tell you how many chains there are right now that are being tested by the both by the staff as well as our beta testers. It's three chains. So the current roster of strategies is on three chains. Definitely a good start. Do we know if Victor has made more advancements behind getting access to try get us involved in more chains? Absolutely. Victor is a beast. Everyone likes Victor. That's a fact. That's an ontological fact. We are we're very connected in the space. So that is one of the really great things. And I'm personally very excited to show that we are DeFi builders and we are connected in this decentralized space where we are constantly building with fellow builders and just making the space a lot better. You know, everyone in the DeFi space right now that is adding value to the entire sector of crypto. Everyone is making it for the love of DeFi, and we all stand by that.
Yeah, within that is the synergy that Dyson offers these other communities, these other projects to build on top of it, offer maximization. So it's a win-win-win service.
That's right. And that's the way I like it to be.
Yeah.
New member of what? You are a member of this community. Probably the single greatest one. Single greatest one that I can think of, at least. What do you mean, Jay is angry? He's part of the greatest community ever as well. No, I didn't say Sinner was the best. No one's the best. We're all the best. That's right. See, Jay gets it, man. Exactly.
Cool. Well, we're creeping up to an hour. Anyone else have any other questions?
What are you doing so?
Yeah, I don't know. That would be cool to get Victor on at some point. Ultimately, that would be up to Victor, though. That's one way to do it. Yeah, of course. I think. What do you think, Lilo? Is that a good point to close? Unless others have questions, I think. Lilo should get some sleep, get some rest. Hopefully, feel better soon. Yeah, glad you could be here, Sinner. And same to everyone. We appreciate it. Oh, did he? Oh no, he's out. Oh, that's a bummer. Um, it's a sign, yeah. Well, it has been an hour, so I might give him a minute, see if he wants to or is able to jump back on. But otherwise, we will probably close out the AMA for this week. And of course, wishing you all again a happy New Year. And a lot of exciting, interesting things to come. Oh, I think he's back.
Oh, this is strange.
Hey,
Yeah, something went wrong with Discord. Where was I? Oh yeah. The AMAs are really important because we can just take some time and level with the community and really just let you know that you're heard and that we would like to just hear your input on things, see what you're happy about, see what you have concerns with, see
Uh-oh. We can't hear you. Oh no, he dropped out again. Lilo?
Yes, hello.
Oh wow, weird.
I know, right? This has never happened to me.
Hmm. You
No, it's not my internet. My internet is great.
can blame my internet if you want. Mine's like
Let's
mediocre.
go on here. Sorry, what were you saying? Don't tell
Oh,
me you're Comcast or something.
hmm?
Don't tell me you're on Comcast or something.
Oh no.
Oh, good.
But I'm just saying, I don't mind taking the blame.
I got you. Let's get Victor in here. Um, Maybe due to time zone might be a little tricky, but I mean, that is something for him to decide. If he wants to pop in, he can definitely do it. Thanks for the AMA and the Alpha. Looking forward to all this. Thank you. I'm also looking forward to really broadening the horizon for Sphere and the ecosystem. We have a lot of plans in store, me and my team. So I'm very excited for that. And I'm going to be very busy, first and foremost. Sleeping to the sound of a V12 now. Bad idea. First AMA in a while, so it was nice to just sit in and talk for a while. Appreciate you both a lot. Thank you very much. I really appreciate you as well. Sinner. You lost internet? No, I did not. Well, how's CMC going? Just don't ask. Okay, I think this is basically it.
Yeah. Thanks everyone for being here, for joining in, and thanks Lilo for jumping on as well.
Absolutely.
Always welcome.
Thank you. So listen, guess it's time to wrap all this up. I will be seeing you guys at some point, maybe in the chat, maybe tomorrow. We shall see.
Get well
For
soon.
now, see ya. Thank you. I will try. Okay,
All right.
bye, guys.
And I'll close off the AMA here as well. So thank you again all for being here. And until next time, always remember that you matter for who you are. Bye, guys.